Hey guys, this is a cold open for the pre-show. So signing in at least a couple minutes early, maybe a minute or two, because I'm putting some inks on this piece here before we actually get the show started tonight. Hope everybody is doing well. This is the Weekly Mouse. Of course, I am Bill Mouse, also known as Bill Mousart. But yeah, it's just I started a little bit early. So let me see here. No, we still got almost 10 minutes. So I'll ink this for a few more minutes uh, until we get the show started. Ken, what's up, dude? Good evening, my good man. I'm glad you're here, dude. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, this is actually Kevin's piece. One of Kevin's pieces. We actually have a few pieces to catch up on. Which is good and bad at the same time. Bad because I want to see them now. I want to see what they look like right now. And good because, like, I'm excited about working on all these new pieces. So just keeping the background quiet for right now, until we get things kind of started up. All right. Your Cyberskin's kind of freaking out. I can't finish inking the whole thing on this one, at least not on the air, because she's going to be a little bit not safe for work. Surprisingly enough, she is going to be not safe for work by the time I'm done with this one, which is awful, I know, but that's what we do here. Here we go. Just put in a few lines here. This is a good way for me to warm up too before we actually start sketching. So, kind of glad for this. We're actually around a lot of places this afternoon. The famous Cat, Mouse, and I. We had to go down to downtown Norfolk. There's a skate shop there called Cardinal, and Cat is going to be painting a commission on this girl's skateboard deck, which I think will be really cool. That'll be very interesting. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I see people popping into the chat. I'll say hi real quick before we start up the show. Look at me showing up early. You guys are hanging out with us. That's awesome. Ken says, "Oh, how come you have the TV border?" Oh, I just like it. I just like the TV border. I was just coming up with little fun things to do. Let me see here. Okay, just making sure the volume is where it's supposed to be. Vidante, my friend, how you doing? Glad you're hanging out with us, showing up early at the show. Let me see. Let me turn the volume up just a little bit. I think my volume. You guys, let me know if the volume gets kind of wonky. My computer actually froze up this afternoon, and I was a little concerned that I wasn't going to be able to live stream at all because I mean it literally froze on me, and I had to reboot it. I had to like do a hard reboot like three separate times in order for. I just kept on getting the spinning basketball of death. And the soundboard wasn't working. Everything seems to be okay now, so hopefully it's all good. Ken says if it's Kevin's piece and it's quid, how are there no post-its? I know. Well, I didn't draw those little parts yet, so it's like, hey. So I'm cheating the system a little bit. Some person, what's up, dude? Saying hello. Glad you're here, hanging out with us. Awesome, awesome. By the way, sound is working. Okay, awesome. Very, very good. Yeah, I get worried because like I turn up the sound on my mic like I'm doing right now. I'm literally turning it up with the dial. And when I leave it alone, it automatically goes down to a different level. So I'm just like, okay, can you guys still hear me or what? Chris Dehan in the house. What's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Awesome. Ken says, "How's the mural going?" Oh, dude, we had to stop. We had to stop for a minute, but hopefully we're going to start back up on it maybe next week. The temperature was just too much, dude. It's like we would show up there like at 7 or 8 in the morning, and by 11 o'clock, it was just too hot here. It was like 100 degrees over here with that predator in the jungle humidity. I was not enjoying that at all. So we stopped working on a mural for a few minutes, but we'll probably be back on it. We like to work on it just on the weekends, like do a Sunday, you know, and jump on there and make a little bit of progress on it. For those who don't know, there is a mural down at the beach here where we live. And if you happen to be in Virginia Beach, at the end of Alaskan Road, almost at the ocean front, there's a gallery. There's an art gallery that's kind of one of our homes away from homes, uh, and we're doing a mural. There's a short wall that runs the length of the parking lot in the back, and we're doing a mural on that. So Kat and I are both working on that together. Night Phoenix, what's up, dude? He says, "I'm on time today." Very cool. Very cool. Ken saying hi to everybody. Very cool. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. It is 10 o'clock. It is 10 o'clock ish. No, it's actually 10 o'clock. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and get this show started. All right. I'll be back in 2 seconds. All right, we're back. Hope everybody's doing good. Let's jump back in the chat. I see a couple more people popped in, which is very cool. I just let's see, we stopped with Ken saying hi to everybody. Paul, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Oh, you know what? I forgot to let's turn on a little bit of something. There we go. A little background noise. You guys let me know if the that background music is too loud or if like the sound gets wonky or something like that. Just kind of let me know what's going on. And let's see. Paul was saying, did I miss much? No, dude, you're right on time. In fact, I signed in just like a little bit early because I was putting some inks on. This is Kevin's piece. This is from weeks ago, so it's like we're catching up. We got a long list, but luckily, I'm working on it. So it's I'm having fun getting all caught up. So this is one of the pieces that we're going to have for a special Nira X issue, where basically she's in all these different pinups being captured by the different people in her rogues gallery. So this is Quid, the liquid guy, because he merged with Cyberskin, and he wasn't supposed to. It turned it into this, so he can never revert back to his human self. So he's just a big liquid guy now. So it's Quid. Oh yeah, old school 90s. Oh, in case you're wondering who's back here, I get to show off. This is Ken's piece completed. Yes, I'm starting to complete pieces. So this is Malka, the Cyber Angel, modeled after Courtney. Courtney's awesome, and she's officially a Cyber Angel in our book, which I think is really cool. So we've got this cool piece, which is kind of a, well, at this point, it's a post happy birthday to Ken, right? And then we've got Kevin's piece. So that's what I was working on as far as the pre-show was going, just to show you guys that we're working on our list. So it's all good. All right, saying hello to Night Phoenix. That's awesome. Night Phoenix says, I funded today, so I'm happy. Awesome. Very cool. Oh, by the way, you funded today. Congratulations, bro. I didn't mean to like just slide past that post so nonchalantly. That's actually a big congratulations, man. I hope everybody says congratulations to Night Phoenix for funding today. It's not easy, man. It's not easy doing comic books in the present day. It's actually quite the accomplishment. So I appreciate you, man. That's cool. Mighty Geek says, what's new, everyone? Awesome. Glad you're hanging out with us. Very cool. Some person saying hello. Awesome. Chris Dehan saying hey, some person. Chris says, was really dialed in there. I know. Kevin, what's up? Holy quid. What wickedness are you up to? I'm glad Kevin's here. It's like finally making some progress on our list, dude. So it's all good. It's all good. Making progress. Moving forward. Getting good ideas. Ken says he'll be back in 2 and 2. Apex, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging with us for a little while tonight. That's awesome. Kevin was saying, what art did I miss? Well, so far, the only 2 pieces of art that I was showing off tonight was your Nira X and Quid piece. This is yours. This is your piece. This is from weeks and weeks ago. So I'm finally inking these pieces. Obviously, like I didn't finish this part because we're keeping it safe for the old YouTubes. And then, of course, we have Malka, the Cyber Angel, on this side. So that's all we got going on for right now. So we haven't thrown around any ideas yet, and we haven't moved in on what we're going to be drawing tonight. This was just my 5-second pre-show, just show people what we're working on. Ken says this TV border would have been on point for our 80s piece last week. I know, right? And I was making this TV border for something else completely, and it ended up working for this. So I was just like, I'd really like to have it for this. So I threw the stickers on the dial and stuff, because that's some of this, the Nira X sticker that's in the Kickstarter for the Zen book. Yeah, so I was just having fun. I like doing this stuff. So some person says, Quid, is there a pro quo? Don't worry. It's part of the rules. It's in her contract. Apex says, Quid, the liquid guy. That's basically him. That's his story, beginning and end, I think. He's a lot of fun. Kevin says, Malka, can I help you clean up? It's all that cake. Apex says, fantasy birthday cake. Oh, yeah. Now, I got to think, ever since Under Siege, which is the only Steven Seagal film that I have affection for, is because of that birthday cake scene. You know what I'm saying? So, Night Phoenix says, well, thanks. Christopher Bouchard, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Says, hello, my friend. How about a hot Poison Ivy artwork today? All right, but that's the first idea that's been thrown into the ring, my friends. So let me see. Let me put this up here real quick. I'm gonna jot this down just in case. Right now, I mean, that's the first idea that's been thrown out tonight, and I like it. I like it a lot. Apex says comics are never easy to make. I know, dude. You really have to love making comics in order to be in this field, because it is difficult, man. It's difficult. It's difficult to break through the noise. It's difficult to sit down and crank out a 24 or 32 page story. You're pulling these things out of your brain and trying to make it all work. You're thinking about the artwork, you're thinking about the characters, thinking about the story, you're thinking about the sales, thinking about where the people are, trying to promote it. It's a lot. It's a ton of work. So you really do have to have a love for it. Very cool. Saying hello. Christopher says hello. Very cool. Paul says mail call. eBay right now got Threshold Mythic Sirens pinups. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, back from the Avatar press days. I'm glad you're reaching out to Avatar, or like you said, you're getting them from eBay. So that's awesome. Awesome. The Sirens pinups, comics, and just now checking it out. Awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I did a lot of really fun pencil work in those pinup books. Did like that cool pencil shading and stuff. It was really nice. It was a lot of fun working for Avatar when we were doing all those books. Some person says maybe something ancient Egypt. All right, something ancient Egypt. I don't know why the first thing I think of is Stargate, but I wrote down poison ivy and I drew a picture of a pyramid. So those are my notes so far. Mighty Geek says Nira X meets Hulk Hogan. That would be valid, but I think we did a Hulk Hogan piece. Was it last week? It might have been last week or the week before, right when he passed. Was it last week? Might have been the week before. The time really does blur for me, especially working from the studio, because like I leave the studio and I'm just like, so do people still dance? it's been a while. But still, I'll put that on the back burner. Who knows? That might be a good thing. Apex says, hey, very good. Kevin says Billy's Angels. Ken says, sent you a message. Oh my gosh, now I got to switch gears. I got to go over here to my phone. Let me see here. Villains pin. That could be a good thing. I have to find a way of bringing that character back too. There was an evil. Just so you guys are privy to a little bit of the private messages that are coming to me from outside the chat. Ken, Katrina Lux was a character. She was a corrupted, evil cyber angel. So it's like I'm thinking of ways to bring her back into some new stories. We got some ideas. Kevin says, "How about a quid?" Oh well, like a pro. Oh well. Apex says, "Excellent." At Paul, good idea. Kevin says, "Oops, didn't realize I was on Facebook and not you, boob." I know, right? Night Phoenix saying hello. Very cool. Paul says maybe for tonight. It was suggested last time about video game art. Maybe a new cart, as if it was a Cyber Angel video game. Maybe the black Nintendo sleeve could say Nira X instead of Nintendo. Might be a good idea. I like that you suggested Poison Ivy. That's really sticking in my mind right now. Night Phoenix says Avatar is still around. You know what? I'm not sure if Avatar is publishing anything new. I know that Avatar as a company is still around, either through Avatar or through Comic Cavalcade, was like one of their sister companies, and basically they just had a catalog of back issues from the 90s. I don't know if they've produced anything new recently. So I don't know if they're actually active, but I do know that they have like a backlog, like a back catalog that you can still order the old books from. Some person says Nira stuck in video game land, sort of thing. You know, that might be good for our second piece. You know, I'm going to jot that down just in case that sticks. Right now I got Poison Ivy and maybe fit in some Egyptian thing with it, and maybe NX and Nira X video game situation. That might be pretty fun. You don't know what we're going to come up with, so that could be pretty fun. All right, I jotted it down real quick. Paul says the art in this pinup comic is insane. Oh, thanks, dude. Kevin says a Cyber Angel version of the Mummy. Ooh, think of Nira in the body paint costume. Oh, yeah, okay. That's a possibility. Like in that gold body paint. Some person says there was Captain N, the Game Master. Mighty Geek says most are doing tributes to the Hulkster. Oh yeah. Well, that was the piece that we did. Was it last week? I want to say it was last week. We did a tribute piece. I don't know if I have it handy. Let me take a look real quick. Was it this one? No, it wasn't that one. Let me see if it was this one. There we go. It's really, really loose. Well, we did a tribute piece for the Hulkster. So basically, I mean, this is really, really loose, but we're going to tighten it all up when we get to the inks and stuff. So we got Hulk. We got Hulkster up there in the background looking down on Nera X, and she's ripping her shirt open, and then her top says Hulkamania on the top. And then she's wearing like a championship belt, like around her waist. And I don't know that I'm actually drawing a bottom on her. We'll see how that comes out. I think the way that it looks is pretty cool, the way that it is. But yeah, that's going to be a super fun piece. Let's see. Apex says Poison Ivy meets Ozzy Osbourne. That's funny that you mentioned Ozzy too. Yeah, because we had Ozzy in a piece last week too. Let's see. Where's our 80s piece? Our 80s piece from I believe it was last week. So like I said, time is blending on me, but it still has to be inked. But the idea is that we've got Carr, not the Knight Rider, because we got evil Michael Knight driving the car, and we've got Ozzy in the passenger seat, like, you know, chomping down on some bats and stuff. But that's not to say that we can't do something else with Ozzy this week also. It's not to say that we can't do something more. In fact, I'll write down Ozzy just in case. There we go. Ken says Egypt sounds cool. Maybe Nera, a Laura Croft. Oh, a Nera X Laura Croft mix. Dude, now we're talking. Exploring a tomb, and Scribe is a mummy. And he's about to grab her butt. Frick. That sounds amazing. I think I want to do that. All right. Well, Poison Ivy is a definite. Poison Ivy is a definite, and I think this Nera X Tomb Raider situation, I think that has too much merit to let go. I like it. All right, let me get this ready here. See what we got going. Let me just catch up. Let me get to the bottom of the chat before I actually start sketching, and then I will start sketching. That way, I'll do my best not to miss any of the comments in the chat while we go. So if I miss a couple comments here and there, please forgive me ahead of time. All right, Christy Ann says, and Nera is holding two huge jewels. Christy Ann says, and a Sphinx in the back, possibility. Strategically, Chris, says Ken. She couldn't possibly fit an entire Sphinx in the back. Christy Ann says, or Tomb Raider is trying to take them from Nera. Yeah, true. Could have a double situation here. Kevin says Nera can hold the jewels. I will hold her treasures. Yeah. Throw me the idol. I throw you the whip. Ken says she's reaching for the family jewels. Christy Ann says, or Nera is replacing a jewel for something else. Oh, Indiana Jones style, right? Mighty Geek says Nera X, Hulk Hogan, and Ozzy Osbourne raiding Egyptian tombs. I don't know why that actually doesn't sound bad. That sounds pretty good to me, actually. That sounds pretty good. I think you're starting to paint the picture in my brain, dude. Starting to paint the picture. I like where this might be going. Kevin says, fight over a big jewel and mummy wrappings. Let's see. Christy Hen says Ozzy singing in the back and Nera dancing in the front could work. Night Phoenix says, I was thinking Nera and Laura too. All right. We definitely got more votes for this Laura Croft and Nera mix. Possibly Ozzy in the background. Maybe the Hulkster somewhere in there too. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Some person says maybe one of these sexy goddesses make a cameo. Christy Hen says Nera dressed like Hulk and body slamming ENX dressed as Macho Man Savage. Snap into a Slim Jim. Put a pin in that one, because that might be something for later. I think we got the Tomb Raider thing. You're really painting the Tomb Raider theme in my head. Kevin says, "Whatever happened to your reader? She's not doing her job." Oh yeah, she's got her own schedule, my friends. She's got her own schedule. Jason, what's up, dude? Hey, Bill, no more tears. No more tears, man. No more tears. Paul says maybe it's Hulk and Ozzy's tomb they're raiding. That's not a see. That's a pretty good idea too. Kevin says, how about From Dusk Till Dawn with the snake? Oh yeah, with the big yellow snake. Yep. Christopher Bouchard says you can do the Nira X Tomb Raider, but a hot version. See, now you're thinking. That's what I'm talking about. Christiane says, like next to a volcano. All right, we got a lot of good ideas, dude. Got a lot of good ideas. Let's start them up. All right. Now I sort of want to start with let's start with Laura first, and then we're gonna find a way of fitting Nira into the picture. I'll do my best. I'll do a few lines. And for anybody watching for the first time, or maybe you don't know how we usually do things here on the show, what we do is every Saturday we get together, come up with a bunch of crazy ideas, see which one actually sticks with us. And then I will do a somewhat tight, somewhat loose pencil sketch of what the artwork is. Then at the end of the show, which is right around midnight, we auction off the finished piece of artwork to one lucky winner. And if we have more than one piece, I think we're going to end up with two pieces tonight, because I really do like the idea of drawing Poison Ivy. So if we do have two pieces, we'll have two little separate auctions. So you have two chances to win something. And then at the end of the day, as it were, here, let me find an inked piece, something that's already done. There you go. I'll find something here. So it'll be rough pencil for the show, but what you'll receive in the mail will be a completely inked piece, like a finished piece. Okay, so just so you know, the basics of what we usually have going on. Some parts of the image I'll pencil tight. That way we can really see what's going on. And some parts I will pencil in loose, because that way we have time to actually do two drawings in one night. Like the way I'm doing her hair right here, it'd be fairly loose. Like we know what's happening. And I'll tighten everything up when I go into the inks afterwards. All right, let me just get an expression on her face real quick, and I will jump back in the chat, see where you guys are. Gotta have Laura's signature round glasses here. There we go. And we also have a caveat at the end of the show too, which is if you happen to be the winner of the artwork. I mean, the girls are usually kind of skimpy as it is, but you do have the option of requesting that the artwork be maybe a little bit more not safe for work than what we have here on YouTube. So if that's the case, all we have to do, you just let me know in the chat when we actually do the auction towards the end of the show. There we go. Let me bring that a little closer there. There we go. See what's happening with Laura there. All right, let me jump in the chat real quick. Make sure not leaving anybody behind. Some person says Cat is in got shit to do mode. Cat is in got the shit to do. You know her well. You know her. She's busy, dude. She's actually a busy little artist. Christiane says I would pop Jake the Snake in the tomb. Some person says King Snut. I said King Snut. I'm trying to read too fast. That's what's going on. King Tut sneaks up on Jake with a steel chair. There might have to be I have to draw a steel chair in here somewhere. Ken says, Nira, look, Laura, all of these statues have O faces. I think I know how to open the Shimnir now. The chamber. Thank you. I tried to read that word. I tried to read it. So, okay, but chamber. Okay, I was good. Kevin says, where is your mind going? Christiane says, have you done Nira jumping into a money bin or a gold pile like Scrooge McDuck? You know what? I don't think I have. I mean, the image that's popping into my head is the one from Family Guy where he jumps into the Scrooge McDuck vault, but he's like, it's not a liquid, it's a solid. But it could be a sexy piece. Her like all the diving into the coins. That might be kind of sexy. Christiane says maybe both studying an ancient book while a mummy comes to life. Some person says there was a King Tut Batman villain in the 60s series. Oh, I remember King Tut from the old Adam West Batman. I remember him. Oh, dude. Wasn't he like a teacher and his brain got out of whack and he made himself believe that he was the actual real King Tut and that's how he became a supervillain? It's always something crazy like that. Kevin says, I just pictured the intro to Scooby-Doo. Ken says, my mind went long time ago. You know, you typed it like that and I read it correctly. It's like I knew where you were going. I knew what you were saying. Some person says something hit his head and now he's King Tut. Yeah, I remember it was something like that. Yeah. Kevin Green says King Tut, not Steve Martin. Steve Martin is a classic King Tut. I'll tell you that right now. You know, those are the days when I was actually watching SNL a little bit more often. Those were the days. All right, let's get Laura set up here, get a little pose, find out where she's standing, find out what's going on. Have her in her little classic teal shirt. Can't help but put some rips into the shirt. Occupational hazard. I'll give her some fat braids. All right, let's see if we can get Laura situated in this here dangerous tomb situation. Yeah, these are good ideas. I like these ideas. In true fashion, I have to completely rip up her shirt. All right, let me pull the camera back a little bit so you can see a little bit more of the picture all at once. There we go. Here we go. See what shenanigans are going to ensue. She always wear the big freaking boots, so gotta put them big boots on her. You know, I haven't drawn a Lara Croft in a while. It's pretty awesome. Make sure she's got her little fingerless gloves on her. All right, so far so good. Let's see what we got here. Make sure I don't fall too far behind here. Some person says, King Tut, he's my favorite honky. He's my favorite cracker. Kevin says, I'm going to treasure those suntan golden orbs. Yes. Ken says, Laura discovers a cyberplasm orb. Oh, that's a good idea. That's kind of a cool idea. I like that. A little continuity there. You know what? I gotta look up King Tut's face from the Batman show. Let me look him up real quick. King Tut, Batman, Adam West. There we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, I think I found a place to draw that guy. I think we're including him as well, and I'll get maybe I'll get some Ozzy reference, so we can have Ozzy in the background with some bats. There's always bats in these tombs. There's always bats somewhere. That's why Ozzy's like, "It's my tomb." All right, let me stand this up a little bit. Good. Okay. King Tut. See if I get his face. Get his face a little similar, so that way he gets to point across who he's supposed to be here. He's got that fat face. I got quiet on you because I'm looking at this reference. I'm trying to get this ramen noodle goatee of his down right. There we go. Almost got him down well enough. We could let him go. Oh man, I was off camera the whole time. There we go. Let me give him a more slightly more pissed off look on his face. There we go. I don't know why Laura landed on his back, but this is part of today's adventure. Now where are we going to put Nira? All right, put his other fingers over here. Well, I think Laura's got him right where she wants him. All right, let me catch up a little bit with the chat before we move on to the next little thing. Some person says, oh, some person sharing the link to the Steve Martin King Tut. Yep. For educational purposes. Yep. Kevin says, this orb makes me tingle all over. Now I picture time bandits. Don't touch it. It's evil. Kevin says, you drew Laura Sarah not too long ago. Some person says Ozzy rising from a sarcophagus. Oh, I kind of like that. Oops, here we go. Yeah, Isaac rising from a sarcophagus. He would have loved it. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that would actually be pretty dope. So let's see if I have Nira here somewhere. I can actually have Ozzy rising from a sarcophagus over here. That would actually be pretty dope. Right behind her, so as to surprise her. We got a general position, and then I'm going to look up Ozzy's face so I can get a little bit of reference. And like I said, all this kind of stuff, this all gets tightened up even more with the when I go in for the inks. Yeah, definitely do something that Ozzy would like. All right, let me look up a quick picture of Ozzy's face, just so I can get some of the features correcto mundo in there. Ozzy Osbourne. That was easy enough. Okay, there we go. Let me get a face in here. Yeah. Yeah, I like this one. Okay. All right. Get a little bit closer. Here we go. I'll get a little bit closer to the page here, so that way you guys can see what's going on. Get a little Ozzy action in here. I'm concentrating. That's why I got quiet, because I'm concentrating. Yeah, gotta give him the right look. Gotta give him the right look. There we go. Yeah, who would have thought an Ozzy Osbourne type of theme along with Laura Croft, right? And I'll have some bats flying out. It'll be like a giant stone sarcophagus. So it kind of goes with the Egyptian theme a little bit, but it also sticks with like classic sarcophagus kind of theme. Here we'll have some smoke going on here. Dope. There we go. Let me pull the camera back a little bit. There we go. Now we can see a little more of the drawing all at once. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, let me see where we are here. Make sure I didn't fall behind too much. Some person was saying like he's the musical Bella Bella Lugosi. Yes. Let's see. Kevin says, "Well, now we know why Laura always wears such tight, rubbery outfits. Blame Cyberskin. What will the Witchblade think of her friends' enhancements?" Some person says, "I could think of a story. Trapdoor Nira fell down while King Tut was under there. This is good. This is good." Some person says, "Nira, what is that incomprehensible talking?" It's like an ancient dialect. Ozzy. Sharon. Some person says, "Chat's all quiet. The chat's being quiet tonight." Some person says, maybe some torn threadbare bandaging dangling from his hands. Oh, I like that. I like that. Have that going in there a little bit. I think the next piece will be a lot more straightforward because it's going to be poison ivy. But this one's going to have a lot of crazy ideas happening. I remember Ken was mentioning Scribe as a mummy. Let's see if we can give him a little bit of a mummy look. There we go. I could see Scribe coming back to life for this. There we go. Scribe always up to some shenanigans. Put a little drop shadow in here, which is hanging out in this like a straight up sarcophagus right behind Laura's butt. All right, cool. All right. Yeah, look, got a few different things happening around this week. This is very, very true. Kevin says, we're focused, some person. We're focused. Paul says, ancient Egyptian god of tentacle, perhaps. Ah. I'm always a sucker for introducing some tentacles into this here situation. Very good idea, Paul. Very good idea. There we go. Get a little tentacle monster down here. And maybe we'll add some more tentacles in later, like he's reaching in up and behind some of the characters. We shall see. We'll see how daring he's attempting to be. All right, got a couple tentacles in there. We'll see where we go from here. Some person says, I guess Ozzy could be Anubis, god of death. This is true. Ken says, the tentacle god. Some person says, there might be one. Kevin says, tentacles explain why the statues are all going, oh, they all have the O face. Ken is correcting you. Cthulhu. Some person says there's some weird creatures in Egyptian myth. This is true. This is very, very true. Some person says background could be a long hallway or a wall with hieroglyphs. That's true. Yeah. A wall with hieroglyphs would be pretty dope. I do like that. Let's see. Kevin says, ask Malka. She'd know better than I would. Malka walking like an Egyptian. She does love the bangles. She has good taste, my friend. Yes. And Bojangles. Get out of here. Walk like an Egyptian. Yes. All right, so I got a little drop shadow there. Got Scribe the Mummy. Still kind of figuring out. Maybe Nira is dropping in upside down. Okay. I got somewhat of an idea. Let's see if this works. All right, so we got the pedestal where she's attempting to take the treasure, which in this case will be a cyberskin orb. All right, so we got ourselves a little pedestal thingy there. Put our cyberskin orb right here. All right, now Yeah. I got an idea. Just kind of rough it in. I'm thinking Nira coming in from the ceiling. So we shall see how this works out. Okay. Gotta turn her around now, so I'll figure out what's going on. Gotta have Nira hanging upside down, seeing what's up. What's actually funny is like it should be evil Nira hanging upside down. She's more of the she'd be more of the tomb thieving variety. But we're gonna continue with Nira. Let's see what happens on this fine evening. There we go. Try to get her drawn in here before all the blood rushes to her eyeballs. All right, let me take a little break from that for a second. Just catch up with the chat just for a little bit, see what's going on. Some person says, or a sprung trap. Like the trap is just about to go. Ken says Bojangles is a pale version of Popeyes. I think I agree. I agree with that. I like Popeyes better. Some person says Spikes, giant boulder. Yes. The giant boulder thing always gets me. But the Spikes is always good too. Kevin says Nira is channeling her inner spider girl. Yeah, I think she is. Some person says you can distract Ozzy Raw with a bag of drugs. I got Ozzy some M&Ms and he played a great show. Let me see here. Some person says I see Nira doing the Spider Woman. The Milo, or is it Milo? Milo Manera pose. The infamous pose. Ken says, how about Nira doing on from the ceiling with an intact rope, and Laura is holding a broken piece of rope. Oh, dropping in. Gotcha. Mighty Geek says, Mission Impossible style. I like it. Paul says, but Bojangles had WWE cups. That is points. That is good points right there. I have one right now with me. Some person says the butt pose. Yeah, the Milo butt pose. The outrage pose. That's right. That's what that pose. That's how it became famous, with the outrage. this in the proper area. Here's a little bit top heavy, be hanging upside down like this. There we go. Just making sure, kind of putting her weight on the thingy thing here, putting her stuff on the stuff. Okay, good. Had to make sure she was looking cool upside down. Let me see how I'm going to have her hand positioned here. Kind of reaching out like she's going to deactivate a thing or unlock a thing so she can grab the thing. Little rope action. Still not sure what she's wearing. Is she wearing anything? I don't know how hot it is in these caves. These tombs are warm. Mira's going to be her own version of Tomb Raider, I think. All right, we'll let that rest for a second. Let's see where we are. Let's see how we're doing. Some person says if those boobs get loose, she'll go unconscious. Kevin says, will she get black eyes though? Only if she hits the floor. Ken says, outrage or not, it's sold books. Some person says a sore jaw, perhaps. Ken says Nira's pose is screaming for excessive underboob. You read my mind. Some person says Milo Manera is a master of the sexy legs. Kevin says, why does this Nira pose remind me of a cover from the Avatar days, or was it a pinup? You know what? It does. That's how Solace started. I think that was like a page 1 from Solace because she was sneaking into a place. Kevin says, wait, I think it was from one of the nudes books. It might have been. I like drawing people upside down. This is true. Ken says, I think you are thinking of an Avatar book, Nira X History. Some person says, will those pants hold? Find out in the next episode. Kevin says, I know it was the Avatar era, but I think you know which one I'm referencing. Yeah. Oh, I do. I think there is a scene like that in history too. Yeah, I believe so too. Very, very true. Very, very true. They put Nira's gloves on here. A little bit of rope hanging. All right, I'm going to put a little shadow here. A little bit of this will be solid black in the background. Maybe, like you said, maybe like the occasional the occasional hieroglyph, as it were. There we go. Good little scene. Good little scene. Ken says Solace definitely did that at the start. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the first thing that pops in my brain with that upside down pose. Is that first page from the Solace story. And for those of you that don't know what that Solace book is, we did a book for Avatar. The character's name is Solace, and she's like this, like it takes place in this weird future, and she's like this spy, covert kind of mercenary kind of person, and she's sneaking into a place, and then violence ensues. Oh, gotta draw some bats. Can't forget the bats. All right, so I'll just imply where the bats are going to go. Gotta have a couple of bats for Ozzy. You know what I'm saying? Paul says the first picture always looks like an orgy because we have so many ideas. That's true. We do tend to cram a lot of ideas into the first piece, right? All right, but I think this first piece is good. We're gonna move on to our poison ivy piece. I think we'll let this one breathe for a minute. And I think that will be good. I think we fit a lot of things in there. Well, you know, like thematically, we definitely should have some scarabs in here somewhere. I'll give myself a note for scarabs. Scarabs, man, it's like Egyptians. What I should put, there we go. Let me put this in the background. Only a little piece of it is going to fit, but that's okay. We know what it is. Got to put the Stargate back there. Got to put the Stargate. There we go. It feels nice now. It feels nice. A little Stargate action in the background. Some person, a cram jam, if you will. Maybe some eerie mist. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. It is a tomb after all. There we go. That'll give me the proper notes for that. Nice. Doing good, doing good. The mist is magic. Kevin says, will the Poison Ivy piece come with TSOTG brand anti-itch lotion? Guaranteed to help with that itch you have. Some person says, like, Nero, what the hell? Where have I just dropped into? Oh, jeez. All right. Well, how about Poison Ivy? Why not do a nice Poison Ivy? What's up with all these vines? All right, we'll concentrate on a single character for the second piece, so that way we can take some. We'll take some time and we can add a lot more detail to her, I think. But who knows? Who knows what ideas will come about? Poor Waffle is back here, wanting to escape. But I think Waffle will be fine for right now. We'll get some dreamy eyes on Poison Ivy here. Here, let me just get a little expression on her face, and I'll come over to the chat and see where everybody's at. There we go. Get a little bit of. Actually, she's going to have like a big hairdo. I think she's going to have a lot of hair. Make her look all badass. But we'll just get her started for the moment. There we go. Just get her started for the moment. So that way we know which way we're headed. There we go. Yeah, poor Waffle. He wants some attention, poor little guy. Don't worry, I'll take him for a walk. He'll have snacks in a little bit. Let's see here. Ken says TSOTG delivers various products within the topical solutions market. Some person says poison ivy versus calamine lotion, man. Kevin says usually found in the intimate care aisle. Ken says TSOTG Incorporated is all about intimate care. Kevin says, poison ivy versus the fall. Just think of her trying to keep those leaves on. That's the true battle right there, right? Some person saying which poison ivy, comic, cartoon, or that Batman movie. I sort of do a mix. I don't really go Batman movie, but I like to mix up a couple of different versions of like her comic book version and her cartoon version. Kevin says that Batman movie. We know how you feel about it. Yeah, we're not big fans of that Batman movie. Maybe Batman 66 styled. Yeah, something along those lines. Something leaning in that direction, maybe. I was thinking of the 90s one, right? That's what comes to mind. The terrible one. Kevin says poison ivy versus the creeping vines. They absolutely go wherever they want in search of moisture. It's not so bad, actually. Oh, maybe I could give them a little Miracle Grow. I know, versus Autumn Falls. Night Phoenix says the movie version was Uma Thurman, though. Yeah, this is true. I love Uma Thurman. They had a great cast, but the movie was what it was. I think they were all cashing in on favors or something. Something went awry. The 90s are always fun. Hell yeah. Well, we'll make her kind of a mix. Kind of a Miracle Grow, kind of a... And then we will make her sexy. A little on the sexy side. Let me get a little bit of her pose before I start covering most of her shoulders and stuff up with her hair. She's gonna have like a huge hairdo. Yeah, something that looks good for a single pose. Let me see. Let me back this up a little bit. That way we can see. There we go. Can you hear Waffle? Poor little guy. He's a little bored. He doesn't understand these human things that we do. It's like, why you want to be live streaming when we have sticks outside? We could go play with some sticks. I know, buddy. He did have a lot of fun today, though. We took him to the park. We got actually a pretty large park, fairly close to our house, and took him there for a run and a walk. I know, buddy. You're a good boy. You're a patient boy. I love this little dog. He's a good boy. All right, just kind of playing with her pose a little bit. I'm kind of doing this one a little bit more straightforward. Just making a cool mix here. Poison Ivy has had a couple different versions. I know, buddy. It's okay. Sometimes what's fun is just a cool standing pose. We'll see how this works out. I got this picture in my head. What's funny is that I think Waffle probably thinks that I'm talking to him while I'm at the desk. Because like there's nobody else here in the studio with me. I've got headphones on. And he's like, why you keep talking to me, but you're not looking at me? Poor Waffle. He's baffled by human technological things. All right, let's add some foliage, some leaves. Here are some big cool hair. I don't know why, but it's like I like to like hug the figure with leaves, kind of in the same way like the way the Witchblade hugs Sarah Pazzini's body with the Witchblade. Kind of like a slightly similar stance. There we go. I'm gonna have some like leaves and branches and stuff like extending from her hands. That might be pretty cool. Here we go. Let me take a little break from this. I'm gonna see if I fell behind on the chat a little bit. Let me see here. Oh, I fell behind by a little bit. Let's see. Night Phoenix says that movie had cheap effects too. It did. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. George Clooney actually recognizes what was done. At least he admits it and kind of owns it. Night Phoenix says, I remember seeing the foam ice wobble. Oh, I know. That was the worst. Some person says the first movie to give Batman a codpiece and nipple armor. Kevin says, big hair, big boobs, tiny outfit. Kevin says, why didn't Batgirl get nipple armor? That seems sexist. That does seem very sexist to me. But yeah, the director likes what he likes. I didn't like it. Night Phoenix says, bat nipples. Some person says, show Waffle the attention will cure him. This is true, maybe. Here, you want to come here, buddy? Here. You want to come here? Come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. No? You going to stay over there? It's okay, buddy. I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to force you, big boy. Let's see. There he is, upside down, in his little corner, in his little bed there. There's a little guy. Poor little guy. He doesn't want to get up now. He's a little upset. He's like, you guys are being boring. What about treats? What about bringing me some treats? It'll be okay, big boy. Mighty Geek says, it's going to take an ocean of calamine lotion. You'll be scratching like a hound. You look like you never mess around with poison ivy. that should be to a song. That's got to be to a song, right? It's like lyrics. Ken says, Waffle, let the man cook. I know, right? Some person says, find cat, Waffle. I know, we're going to find Cat in a minute. I'm going to start throwing some stuff downstairs. I'm going to throw some stuff down the stairwell, see if she notices. Paul says, my dog would go nuts when I was on the phone. She would run in the room all excited, trying to find the people I was talking to. Yeah, I think that's what Waffle is kind of, because sometimes, usually when we live stream, like Cat is up here with me most of the time. So he sort of thinks maybe I'm talking to her or the two of us are talking to somebody, but when I'm up here by myself, it's kind of like he thinks I'm just going crazy because obviously I'm talking to him, right? So Christopher says, sorry, just got back. What artwork is this? Looks fantastic. Oh, thanks, dude. We are doing a little bit more straightforward. We're doing a poison ivy. I think we're going to like just give her some really cool big hair and a lot of foliage, like just wrapping around her. Kind of like what I do with tentacles, but with plants. Some person says maybe a banana plant. Oh, there should be. Oh, you know what? We haven't done that in a minute. I do need more leaves to take up these spaces over here. So, all right. So we gotta have at least a couple of bananas over here. One banana duct taped to a tree trunk. There we go. Put a little shadow right there. There we go. Have a little bit of foliage growing up her leg here, kind of wrapping around her leg. And wrapping around this one a little bit. There we go. That way we can see what's going on here. Foliage wrapping around back here. All right, we said we're going to give her some big hairs. Let's give her some big hair. And when I go back and ink this, I'm sure I'm going to add like a lot more little leaves and little plants and stuff. We got to get the general idea down of what we would like to do. There we go. Give it some nice body. Give it some nice form. And it's nice being able to take a lot of time with just a single character. Get her just the way you like her. All right, we're going to have some foliage and stuff here. Lots of leaves. I think I want the foliage to kind of like wrap up and around this way. So I'm going to do a little bit of shorthand for all the little leaves and plants and things like that that are going to be up on this side. And hopefully you can see that pretty good, I think. Make sure the light's not blowing it out too much. I like the way this piece came out. This is sweet. I like this. I am going to duct tape one banana to this tree trunk. All right, so there's There's a little treasure right there. One banana duct taped to the tree trunk. I have just a little bit of foliage coming down here. That way it frames it. It frames everything really good. Nice. Here you go. Let me frame her face with her hair a little bit better. There we go. Nice. Okay, let me catch up with the chat for a little bit. Give the old joints a little bit of a rest. Christiane says, just the melons? Kevin says, a banana tree, not a cucumber plant? I could see her with one in each hand, weighing the pros and cons of each. No, not a pineapple! I'm not saying it can't happen, but I'm saying bring on the pain. Some person says waffle in a king-size bed. I know, poor little guy. He's all curled up in a little ball right now. He looks adorable. Ken says, I hate that lower triangle of foliage so much. Well, whoever wins the piece has the option to remove said foliage. Some person says in the distance you see Batman's head hidden amongst the foliage. That would actually be kind of cool. Kind of like that. Another hidden feature. Let's see, where would I put him? Let's hide him back here. That's my note for where I'm going to be putting Batman in the background. I'll hide him as best I can in the foliage itself. So that way you can see him, but you can't see him a little bit. He's got to keep an eye on Gotham, man. He's doing his job, man. He's doing his job. Christy Hen says maybe the bat signal. You know, thematically, yeah, I do like that a lot. I like that idea. Because we do, instead of putting a moon, I usually like to break up the sky, putting in like a moon or something like that. But having the bat signal up in the sky would be thematically the way to go. Agreed. Cool. So that's where we're going to put that, and I'll follow the line lights down here. There you go. Batman's like, I'm just doing my job, man. Christopher says, where's her other arm? I just sort of have it behind her. Like she's like putting both of her arms back. Because like maybe she's like dragging this foliage with her hands. So her other hand is actually like behind her body. And probably behind all this hair. I could have her arm over here doing something. It's a possibility. We come up with a little idea for her other hand to be doing. But if her hand isn't doing anything, I have them both like just going back, so you wouldn't be able to see her hand past her hair and her body there. But I still could draw like a little bit of it. Yeah, I like that idea. No, this is good. This is good. I actually like this better. Okay, let me erase a little bit of this hair here, because that would give me an excuse to show how she's dragging some of the foliage with her other hand too. You could see it from that angle. Good idea, dude. Good idea. It's good. It's good. We come up with ideas together. This is good. Yeah, I actually like that way better. I like being able to see her other hand. Yep. Good idea, Christopher. All right. Some person says, thinking of it, that first drawing looks like another game cartridge. It does. You know what I'm going to end up doing? Maybe I'll take that drawing and the one from last week, and maybe I'll after I color it, I'll superimpose it onto a photo of an old cartridge, so that way it looks like an ad for like an old video game. That could work. That could actually work. Kevin says, "Wow, I just got a notification for the stream. Am I late to arrive?" Kevin says, "Are you saying that the bush needs to be trimmed?" Let's see. Kevin says Batman is doing a Homer Simpson impression, fading into the back. I know, fading into the bushes. Chris Dehan, Supergirl dropping in. Maybe. I think the theme. I think we got it. There's not a lot of room to put Supergirl in there. She'd just be tiny. It's good for Batman to be tiny because it's funny. But if Supergirl's flying in, it's like I'd like to see more of her, not just be like a little tiny in the background. Some person says it's a trap Batman. Kevin says her other arm is grasping something firm and round in Batgirl's head. Very, very cool. Very cool. Saying hi. Let's see. Some person says maybe some vines resembling jewelry. That's actually kind of a cool idea. Harley, what's up? Glad you're hanging out with us. Awesome. Let's see. Vines resembling jewelry. Possibly. Maybe a little bit of a necklace action here. I like that. Put some little blossoms around her wrists. So it's more like a little bracelet. I like. Yeah, unless we get some more. I think this one's just about good. This feels good to me. This feels good where it's at. It feels like there was something happening that night. There's a little bit of a story going on. Batman's being a little bit of a perv. I mean, he's guarding the night. All right, let's see what we've got. Let me see what things we have tonight. What beautiful toys. What beautiful toys do we have for tonight? All right, so we got two busy drawings. We've got our Tomb Raider with Nira X. Little bit of a tribute there to Ozzy. A little bit of a King Tut going into the Tombs theme. I like that a lot. Here, let me get a little bit closer here so you can see. Oh, there we go. We got Nira dropping in from the top. We got Laura Croft. We got King Tutman. We got Scribe. Now, Scribe is being a perv. He wears it loud and proud. And then our Poison Ivy piece. You know, I really like the way she got framed up, and I think your ideas are really good. Putting in the other hand was that's what made her feel finished. I think that's what did the trick. I like that the Bat Signal is back there. I like Batman is back there. Sweet, dude. Sweet. And the timing was just about perfect for us to do two drawings, so that's super awesome. Well, I think what we'll do, let's see, we'll auction these out. I think we're good. I think these two pieces are good before I get too tired. And let me see here. Let me just go ahead and turn on the old thingy here. What time is it right now? It's going to be 11:50. We can let this go till 11:55 if you like. Just 5 minutes, and then we'll do a 10-second countdown. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to pop out the chat. Let me pop out the chat real quick. I got to make sure I pop that out. Because if I don't pop out the chat, then the countdown is hard to do. Here we go, real quick. I'll do this. Let me say Ah, there you go. Pop out chat. Excellent. Okay, now we can do a 10-second countdown. Awesome. Okay, now we're back. I'm gonna kind of put this sideways a little bit. Let me bring this over just a little bit. That way you can see more of the piece here. There we go. Yeah, that 11:17 is big, so it doesn't fit on the screen. Okay, there we go. So, anyways, let me see here. Kevin says Poison Ivy got framed. Blame Hardly. Old time TV in black and white. I know I should have everything in black and white for the thing. All right, Kevin's in the room for $1. Thanks, bro. Get things started. I'm gonna write you down. I'm gonna write you down for that $1. That $1 is official. Some person says you'd make a great Leisure Suit Larry cover. Ah, that would actually be fun. I remember Leisure Suit Larry. All right, Kevin's in the room with $1. He's getting things rolling a little bit. I'll buy that for $1. Paul in the room with 20. Thanks, dude. And like I said, this will be 5 minutes. So 11:55, we're gonna call it, and then we will do a little 10-second countdown. Courtney, what's up? Courtney says, "Hi all, I'm very late." Oh my God, Leisure Suit Larry is my favorite. That the suggestion of drawing Leisure Suit Larry is actually, it sounds pretty fun, right? I'm glad you're hanging out with us. That's awesome. Ken says, King Tut is up to his old ways, old chum. I better bid 30 on this. You're awesome, dude. Thanks, dude. Ken in the room with 30. Old chum. Christopher saying hello. Awesome. Ken has got the largest bid in the room right now with 30. But we still got plenty of time. We're going to do our 10-second countdown at 11:55. Paul back in the room with 35. Thanks, Paul. You guys came up with a lot of crazy ideas tonight. set this paper over here. Got to do this, do that. Excellent, excellent. Chris Dehan in the room with 38. Thanks, dude. Chris Dehan is in the race. Very cool. Some person saying hello. That's awesome. I love our group. We got a good group that we have been building over the weeks and weeks and weeks. You guys are awesome. I look forward to every Saturday. We get to hang out for a little while, have some fun. Kevin says, such odd bids that come from Chris Dehan. Paul back in the room with 42. Thanks, Paul. Patang, what's up? Glad you're hanging out with us, man. Awesome, awesome. Ken says they always end in 8. I'm tired, boss. Oh, man. I feel it. I feel it. All right, Chris Dehan back in the room with 45. Thanks, bro. You guys are awesome. Some person saying hello to Fatang. That's good, good, good. I was just saying, man, we got a good group in the room, man. It's like we got a good group. Most of us all know each other. I think it's super, super cool. Kevin says it ends in that, or it ends in 3s. All right, Christy Hand's bid is the king bid in the room at the moment. We got less than 3 minutes left, and we'll do a 10-second countdown. Now, remember, if you happen to be watching on the Facebook channel, there is a delay. It's like a weird delay. So I put it in the description. I try to remind everybody all the time. I always rebroadcast the shows on Facebook because a lot of people follow me on Facebook and they're more active on Facebook. So a lot of them would miss the show if they didn't see it pop up on Facebook. But the chat on Facebook is not synced up very well at all. So I always invite everybody to please come to the live chat directly on our YouTube channel. Plus, you could do your boy Bill a solid and leave a like. And hopefully everybody subscribe to the channel. That'd be awesome. Always helps us grow. Let's see. Kevin says, can you believe I finally got to hear Ken's voice today? He sounds so normal, but we know better. Ken says, a lifelong dream come true. Some person says, Tomb Raider, The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb featuring Nira. Courtney says, spoiler, he's not. All right, we got less than 2 minutes. We're doing okay, doing all right. Christy Hand's got the largest bid in the house right now at 45. Almost there, less than a minute left. Kevin says, nor are you. All right, almost ready for the 10-second countdown. All right, I'm going to jump over to the other chat now. I mean, well, I'm jumping into the actual live chat on the YouTube channel. So that way there's a little bit less of a delay. If I do it from my StreamYard software, there's a delay for me too. So Kevin is saying, yo, bid more. All right, Christine, you might get this for 45, dude. I'm going to start a 10-second countdown now. Jumping in the pop-out chat, starting with 9, 8, 7. And a quick explanation about the 3-second rule. If the last 3 seconds get interrupted with the bid, we start at the 3-second mark again. So that was something we started implementing. Make sure people have a chance Paul in a room with 50. You're awesome, dude. Kevin in with 50, but Paul got you beat. Oh, but Chris Dehan in a room with 53. You guys are awesome, dude. Kevin says, no, 58, my friend. Chris Dehan says, no, 61. What are you talking about? I know what I'm doing. I said 61. Okay, jumping back into the countdown. Oh, Kevin Green with the traditional 69. The coveted 69 bid. Yes. Always the funniest bid. Chris Dehan back in the room with 72. Thanks, dude. Nice, Kevin. All right, Chris Dehan is in the room with 72. Jumping back into the countdown. Going back where we left off at 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to mark it 000 to mark it as sold. And it's sold. Let me scroll back up to make sure to see who has got this. Make sure that I'm not skipping over anybody. I believe... Chris Dehan. Chris Dehan was 72. If I got that wrong, please correct me. But I believe Chris Dehan has got the largest bid in the house. Please congratulate Mr. Chris, Mr. Dehan himself. Paul says, Gigi. I know, we got to bring Gigi back. I miss Gigi. I'm almost done with that issue of Zen, where she actually makes her first appearance. Christopher Bouchard says, congrats to Chris. Awesome, awesome. Absolutely. Big congratulations to Chris. Thank you, dude. And Chris, if you want me to leave this piece as is, you can let me know, say as is in the chat, or if you want me to make it a little bit more not safe for work, you can just let me know that too, or you can let me know a little bit later. You know how to contact me already, so that's cool. Chris Dehan saying thank you. You're awesome, dude. Fatang says congrats. Ken says congrats. You guys are awesome, man. All right, I'm going to write your name on the back of this one. This one is yours, my friend. I'm going to set this one over here so it's safe. And our second and last piece of the evening, our Poison Ivy. Let's see, it's 11:58, so it's almost time to start, and then we'll let it go for 5 minutes. Chat's choice. I like it. Courtney is voting for not safe for work, my friend. And I do believe a lot of his pieces are. Here we go. Let me flip this paper over so I can start keeping track. It's going to go for 5 minutes, so 11:65. Did I really say that? 11:65. That's a new time. I'm a time-traveling flux capacitor-looking motherfucker. All right, at 12:05, because I know what a clock looks like, we'll call it and do a 10-second countdown. We're here for 5 minutes. Kevin Green in the house with $1. Thanks, Kevin. Here we go. Let me do this over here. All right. Kevin says, not safe for work. Always. Ken in the room with 20. Thanks, Ken. Whoops. Chris Dehan in the room with 23. Thanks, brother. Ken Zazer with a confusing 11. Kevin says only THX 1138 is better. Ken says 1165 bid. I would write it down, Ken. I would write it down. But you already bid 20. Actually, Chris Dehan's got the largest bid in the room for this piece right now at 23. So we're going to see where this goes. We're going to see where this goes. Kevin, how about 1169? All right, Christopher Bouchard in the room for 50. Thanks, bro. You're awesome, dude. Chris Dehan back with 53. Thanks, dude. Christopher Bouchard says, nope, this one is mine, my friends. You'll have to break out the big guns if you want this one or not. Paul coming in with our funniest bit of the evening, 69. It's our tradition. But look, Christopher's already got us beat, my friend. But thanks, Paul, because that is tradition. 69 is our tradition. Ken says, turn it on its side. Is it porn? Cut up the bid. There we go. Oh, I can turn it this way. I can turn it this way like this. Ah, yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice. Kevin says, thief. Someone stole my 69. Chris Dehan in the room with 103. Thanks, dude. Kevin says, she looks like she could be moaning. It's about taking care of all them plants, man. It's like... All right, Chris Dehan has got the big bid in the house right now, 103. Paul says, Chris versus Christopher, let's go. We got 3 minutes. Actually, we got less than 3 minutes left to go. So it's Chris versus Christopher. And whoever dares to step into the ring. Christopher says, dang you, 110. Thanks, bro. Kevin says, moaning, not mowing. Chris Dehan back in the room with 113. Thanks, dude. Almost at the 2-minute mark. Almost there. Paul says, or mooing. I'll put a cow in my front yard and I'll be mooing the lawn. All right, Chris Dehan is in the room with 113. We've got less than 2 minutes now. Christopher Bouchard says, Chris Dehan, you. Tell you a thing or two. Christopher Bouchard back like the phoenix that he is. 115. Thanks, dude. He knows what's up. He knows what's up. Kevin says mooing is better than mooning the lawn and neighbors. All right, less than 1 minute left to go. We're going to do the 10-second countdown. We'll see where we're at, my friends. Ken says this poison ivy piece is going for a lot of green. Some person says whoever shall win gets the choice of mowing her shrubbery. Yes, the trimming level shall be up to you. Of course. All right, we're almost there. Less than a minute to go. It's almost there. Almost there. Nye. Kevin says, what if it's going on plastic? All right, Christopher's 115 is holding. We're here, man. We're here. We're at the 10-second countdown. I'll be jumping over to the other chat now, seeing what's going on. And 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Oh, interrupting here. Chris Dehan in the room with 118. Check you out, bro. Writing that down so that way I don't have to scroll back up, and continuing the countdown at 3. Oh, we got an interruption. Christopher Bouchard in the room with 120. You're awesome, dude. All right, that interrupted the 3-second countdown. So we're going to start with 3 again. 3, 2, 1. Marking it sold with a 000 and boom. All right, let me scroll back up. I believe Christopher Bouchard has this piece for 120. Is that correct? Christopher, please, everybody say congratulations to Christopher. Awesome, dude. Very, very cool, dude. Kevin says congrats. That's awesome. And Christopher, you can let me know in the chat right now if you want me to lean this a little bit more not safe for work, or keep it just the way that it is. I'll ink it just the way it is, if that's the way you would like it. Let's see here. All right, let me write your name on the back here. Keep this safe for you. Awesome, dude. Okay, posted both of these pieces together. Yeah, you can let me know in the chat now, or when you send over your PayPal, you can let me know in the notes of the PayPal chat if you want to do that. Chris Dehan says congratulations. Awesome. Ken says nice, congratulations. Paul says Chris versus Christopher needs to be a trilogy. Patang says grazie. Night Phoenix says congrats. Awesome. Christopher says thanks to everybody. You guys both won today, man. You guys are awesome. Very, very cool. And of course, Christopher says, of course, not safe for work, my friend. All right, so I'll just put that note back here, nice and light. Be all good. And Chris Dehan, if you want to let me know about your piece right now, or if you want to wait until you send over your PayPal, it's totally cool. Chris Dehan says, thank you. Awesome, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, everybody. Everybody, like, for hanging out every Saturday, making this, like, super fun. This is really, really a group effort. You know what I mean? This is the village. Everybody's having a good time together. Everybody's got their part to play. It's so cool. Love it. Ken says, lose the lower foliage. Now, for anybody who's watching for the first time, I know you guys are already set up and you guys know what to do, but I'm just going to go over this only for people that happen to be watching and haven't bid before, or maybe somebody's going to rewatch the video later. The way that we usually do this every Saturday, well, we try every Saturday, 10 o'clock Standard Eastern Time, 10 p.m. We all get together in the chat. We throw around a lot of ideas and we see what ideas stick. And we end up coming up with a cool and fun sketch together. At the end of the show, we always auction it off to one, in this case, 2 lucky winners. And what happens after you win, assuming that you win the bid, you simply send a PayPal to this email address here. It just goes straight to me. And you can leave in the notes, whether like your mailing address, write down which piece you won. I write it on the back of the piece, but it helps keep me organized. And that's all there is to it. It's simple. It's straightforward. It's a fun time. It's how we spend our Saturday nights and or Sunday nights, just having some fun before the weekend is over, and just chill out, have a lot of fun together, man. It's like, so I appreciate you guys watching and just having a lot of fun with us, because this is what it's all about, dude. Paul says, it's my 4th time, so it's been my first month of Mouse. You're awesome, dude. Yeah, and the first time we met was actually in person at the convention. I thought that was great. I thought that was really cool. I'm glad you're here, dude. I'm glad you're a part of everything. Ken says, nice, Paul. Welcome. Very cool, very cool. Thank you, some person, for sharing the links. That's always super important. Thank you so much for that. Christopher says money sent, and you lose a little for the lower foliage. All right, we're gonna lose some of that foliage. We're gonna lose it. Some person says, yeah, don't tell anybody. This is our secret Patreon page. It's Club Corrupt. And it's secret because it's corrupt. So don't tell nobody. Secretly tell everybody. But don't tell nobody. And if you do happen to go to the Patreon page, I do post safe for work versions of our pieces up on the Patreon page every once in a while. And those I'll post as public posts. So that way you don't even have to have a membership to take a look at it. But all of the ones that are, of course, not safe for work, they all have to be behind the paywall. So, and if you wanted to download high-res versions of the colored versions of these images, then and support the studio and support what we do and just be a part of things. It helps out, keeps us all together, makes a nice little hub where we can see all the artwork just all in one place. So it's a lot of fun. I like to do it, and hopefully you guys like to do it too. So it's good times. It's good times for all. Well, this was a good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Christopher Bouchard says, I forgot to add my address for you, Bill. If you want to, Christopher, if you forgot to add the address to the thing, email me direct right here, billmossart@gmail.com. You can send me an email direct and just send me your mailing address to my email. Okay. That's why it's super easy for me to find it, and just hang on to my email address. So that way, if you ever need a contact or whatever like that, we just go back and forth that way. Thanks, dude. Very, very cool. Paul says Patreon is essential if you dig this art because there is so much content. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm glad that we've had the page long enough now that there's a nice, decent amount of content on there. And then the plan is, starting December, January, like uploading on a much more regular basis. So we had a couple of books that we were finishing this month. And we had quite a few shows actually on our schedule. So the uploads were like kind of once a month-ish. So, we'll try to upload more often, but definitely at least once a month, there's going to be new stuff. And what's fun is like, we get to ink the pieces that we actually worked on together on the show, which I think is a lot of fun. All right, everybody. Well, I tell you what, I think I'm gonna cut out. I'm gonna go grab myself a snack. Maybe grab myself some cookies. I don't have no cold pizza, so I guess I'm gonna grab some chocolate chip cookies and snack and chill out. Watch something. I want to get online and watch something. I'm gonna pass out and go to sleep. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with me. Every Saturday is so much fun, and you guys make it that way. So let's try and do this again next Saturday. And I'll see you guys then. Everybody have a good one.
Good night, Seattle.